Okay, so per request from some people on Facebook on the RIPPA group, I'm gonna make a video just explaining the modifications I've done to this unit and why I've done them. I'll start with the back. So I installed this radiator fan. It's a roughly 12-inch fan on the inner diameter, and the exterior I think adds half an inch or so. So I put this little metal cage door in. I had it laying around a scrap, so I put this in. The OEM panel that's here has 10 bolts. You can see some of the holes here that you have to take out every single time you want to pull the panel off, either to access your valve body housing down here or just simply clean your radiators. So I got tired of that. So that was the first problem. And then of course the second one was overheating. So I installed this, and in order to open the door, all I have to do is take the stool off, 2 bolts, which you have to do anyway with the OEM cover. And then I just squeeze these little pins here and I can open it from there. So this fan cord, when you open it, also comes with it, so you're not having to worry about unplugging your fan or having wires that are too short and you can't open the door. So that's that. And then if I want to take the entire panel off, all it takes is 3 bolts. How did I do it? Well, you're going to need a welder. So angle iron, 3 bolts. This is a rat cage door. I don't even know the dimensions. I'd have to look. And you can see I just welded it up there, and I welded the back side of this one so you can't see it, but not a lot of welding, really. It's pretty simple. So if you have a welder, you're set. If not, use some bolts, find a way. I'm sure there's another way, or just take it to a weld shop. And pardon me if I'm a little stuttery. It's a little cold out here right now. So this is the next thing. I'll open this real quick so you guys can see. First, I'll explain though. So with this auxiliary, I run a grapple. So when you go like this, you'll probably notice, even when your machine's not on, it'll go crazy. It'll go back and forth really fast, and sometimes the big grapples, it'll just sit there and jitter like that until it closes. So what I did is I added a spring to this to keep that from happening. And I'll open this up, and you'll actually get to see the wiring too that's going down to my fan. And then there's my spring. It's nothing fancy. It's literally just a spring from AutoZone. I hooked it around this little clamp, and then I went up, and there's a small hole already drilled in the handle conveniently that I put it in, but I put like a little key ring right there and then hooked the spring on it. So really easy solution. That's one of the things that I've also done. So moving on, this fan pulls air into the machine, the same thing that the radiator fan on your engine does. So I'm essentially doubling the amount of air that is going through that radiator. This is the other fan. I picked red accidentally, so I just ordered what I had, or what they had in stock. And this is the ugly version. I have another version I'll show you guys in a minute. But I used a grinder. As you can see, it's a really sloppy edge. But I was in a pinch. I use zip ties. I plan on cleaning that hole up and then putting bolts in there, and that is what I'd recommend doing. Unless you're in a bind, that's just a quick, easy way to do it. This fan is simple, so it just goes to the, and this one, the polarity is different. What I mean by that is the wires are swapped differently than the fan in the back, because the fan is pushing in, and then this fan is pulling air out. So it's trying to pull all the heat out of this engine bay, because you have this giant muffler, you have the engine, and then you have this massive hydraulic pump, all three of which are producing a ton of heat. And I think this is a big culprit for overheating personally, because it's right on top of the engine and it's a few inches from your pump. So I mean, the heat blanket does a good job, but does it solve the heat issue? Absolutely not. So this wire, which is the, yeah, don't mind my electrical job here. Nothing fancy. The black wire on this fan goes to the black wire, or sorry, the negative terminal on the battery. The blue wire goes to the switch, the battery switch on the back nut there, or the back stud. And so that way, when you're running your machine, you don't have to worry about forgetting to turn the fan on, forgetting to turn the fan off. You know, the last thing you want to do is somebody's using your machine, they either overheat it and cause it to boil over, or they leave it on and then it kills your battery. So all you got to do, and then you just turn it off and it goes off. So same thing with the back one. Just another little tidbit of advice for anybody that owns one of these two. My 4 units, the RS06-2s, this is the 3rd generation, 2026 is when they were produced. The fuel tank, or whatever, the fuel gauge, sorry, is not accurate. So when it's empty, it's actually full, and when it's full, it's actually empty. And I've had people run my machine out of fuel because of that. So all you have to do is, if you encounter that problem, you just crack this nut right here, and then you turn the key to prime position, and then you turn the battery on, and it'll start spewing a little bit of fuel. Don't completely pull the nut out, and then once the fuel starts coming out of there, you close it. So wait a couple of seconds when you're priming it, and then you're good to go. So anyway, I will now walk over quickly and show you guys the OEM machine. I've only done a handful of things to this. So I own a Land Hero 2, and then that's an SCL right there, both of which have also had overheat issues that I resolved. This one, of course, through a pump, just like every single one of them does. They're junk machines. So if you want to go buy one, don't buy one. That's my opinion. But again, you have 10 bolts to take off, very limited access, and very difficult to clean at the end of the day. So I did the same lever deal here. I also wrapped the handles on both of the machines. It's just way more comfortable. The OEM handles, they slide them on with dish soap, and then it just rusts your handle, and then it's just, they fall apart and it's not comfortable. So I added this fan, and I used a hole saw bit, so it's a much cleaner cut. It's a 12-inch hole saw bit that's on Amazon, and it does a very good job. Again, I use zip ties. I need to do bolts. Exact same engine layout, a little dirtier in this one. And yeah, so that's kind of the basics. I think that will help with the overheat issue that anyone's experiencing. Again, there's a few other things I'm currently working on, one of which is suspension. I actually have some components over there that I will be installing on the footstool, because it's like, if anybody's been on one of these, you know it's like riding a board. If your back isn't hurting at the end of the day, please let me know how, because I I don't understand. Another really good machine, I know it's kind of off topic, excuse me, from the RS06, but the Land Hero 400 is pretty similar to the RS04. So I put counterweight plates on mine, and they're just ruck plates. It's a set of 3 on both sides. So this machine will lift around 1,000 pounds. And then you can see I took the cover off, and underneath of all this mess here, this is a auto leveling plate. That's why it's over top of everything. There's another radiator fan, and that solved this. This is just a simple hydraulic radiator, so there is no coolant in this machine. It's just a simple, I think it's a 25, 27 horse engine, Chinese engine. Put a fuel pump in it. Did a bunch of other modifications, but this is one you have to pull and push in this switch in order for your fan to run, and it's just not good. I've had people leave that on, and it just kills my battery. So yeah, very good machines overall though. I don't have any other complaints besides the overheating problem, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, or I didn't cover something, or you guys want links to any of the supplies or stuff I've gone over, I'll try to provide them. The springs are one of the things I really wouldn't have any luck providing, but I'll show you quickly the packaging. And this is what I bought. It's just a let's see if I can zoom in here. Yeah, so not sure if that's going to be helpful to anyone, but yeah, let me know what you guys think, and if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments.